Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Good morning. Hey, Chris. Welcome back. Greasy, Max, Peter, Enrico, David, Will, John. Good morning, everybody. Oh, Max. Updated your computer. Yeah. I hate that when that happens. You get an update or something, and all of a sudden everything's locked out and it's just not working. Nice, Greasy. Good trade on the Eval. Awesome. Hey, Enrico, I did get your email, by the way, and I saw it late last night, so I'm going to reply to you today. So thank you, by the way, for that email. Thank you. All right, let's jump in here real quick before the market opens. I'm looking for a move down for a potential long, but the caveat to that is we do have big news at 10 a.m. and obviously we have the Fed funds rate decision tomorrow, so might not get the move I'm kind of expecting today. Always have to take that into account. All right, so here's the daily chart. And as you can see, yesterday it ended up closing down, but look at the body and the wicks, right? So it's kind of like it's not necessarily an indecisive day, but I will look at this as because where have I been aiming for, right? We took this swing and we have this fair value gap up here. And y'all know all last week and so far this week I've been saying I'm expecting it to pull up in there. Now, does it have to go straight up to it? No. It can go up. So yesterday, before I hopped off, I was looking at, we might be engineering some buy-side liquidity in anticipation for Tuesday and or Wednesday, potentially. So we got close, and we're pulling back. I'm not bearish yet because, you're allowed to have a pullback, right? This is the daily chart. So if you look at this candle, was our down close candle. This down close candle here pulled back into it right here, right? Now we made a higher high, pulled up. So now if we go down, I think worst case, what I'm looking at here on the daily chart, I'm thinking potentially we sweep this low and go back into this wick here. Maybe we close this opening range gap and fair value gap and then make our way back up. That's kind of what I'm looking at the moment. Long term, overall, we'll see how that works out. The 4-hour chart, there wasn't really much I was concerned about or really needed a note on the 4-hour. We do have this fair value gap that it did hold up right here. See midpoint, came back up, hit the midpoint, dropping. I think that's pretty much there to get us down to sweep the low. And then if price does come back to it, I really wouldn't be concerned about price staying underneath it. I think we would go through it. And then the 1-hour, we do have, so here's why I kind of didn't mark these because you have a little fair value gap here, then you have this fair value gap, right? But we came up and we created an inversion. And now we're back below it, pretty much, what you'd call reclaiming it. So, but, now let me remove that. On the flip side, we have some bissies here, right? So all that. But we've also inverted that, technically. So because of this whole area, and then we have, like I said, yesterday, this morning, we'll anticipate 10 a.m., and then today, the rest of the day, we'll probably anticipate tomorrow. So because of that, we've already traded through these. Like this one's already an inversion. This one's an inversion. If we come back up through it, I'm kind of like, I'm not too concerned about those, really, to be honest. We do have a lot of, sell side liquidity. But if you look, each one of these down close candles could be like, this could be an order block, bullish order block. This area could be a bullish order block. This could be a bullish order block. This, we'll see if it ends up being a bullish order block. Well, not necessarily this whole move, but like maybe this. So we'll see. So I did mark these fair value gaps here on the 1 hour. That way, if we do see a move a strong move down at the open. Like I say, because anytime I'm looking for sweeps, I do anticipate like the market to overshoot. So if we do see a move down and it overshoots, I kind of like to think, where could it overshoot to? Well, we still have this opening range gap, and then we have that 1 hour fair value gap. So maybe we overshoot down into this area, into 400s, and then climb back up. But like I said, because we're anticipating tomorrow as well, I'm not sure we do this full bullish climb back up before tomorrow. It might be tomorrow afternoon after FOMC. So we'll see. You just kind of looking at all the potential outcomes there. Then I go to the 15-minute chart, and at the moment, I'm looking at, so this is where I was talking about some buy-side liquidity. We had this high and this high. So yesterday, after we reached up here and dropped, I'm like, oh, we could be engineering some buy-side liquidity for later. That was my initial thought. And then we had this low and this low. And I was like, okay, there's some sell-side liquidity. And then we took that out, right, leaving yesterday's low here. And then we made our way back up. And now we're dropping, the market's open, and we're taking that. So if we measure this dealing range here, from this high to this low, what I'm looking at is you have equilibrium literally right here, which was yesterday's range, right? So it hit that, came back down. So we'll see what happens here. We have a little bit of internal range liquidity in here, but I'm just going to kind of wait it out and see. Here's the 5-minute. Wait it out and see, because what I'm looking for, especially if price wants to be overall bullish, you should have, you know, your open, manipulate down, and then come up. I just don't know, because of the news today and tomorrow, how that's going to, if that's going to play, or when that's going to play out. So that's why that'll require some patience there. Now, real quick, let's hop over to check this opening range gap, which we do have. Close, open. It's not very big, so 618 to 661. So we could see that sweep and it just come right back up into that opening range gap. And this is where you'll see, oh, and look at this. We just left some clean buy-side liquidity right here with this open. Open right here, left relative equal highs. Very clean. So this is really what I'm liking. Right here, we just buy-side liquidity. Because this high right here in this fair value gap is, what's that high? 639.25. This high right here is 639. One tick away. So I like that. And this is what I was going to say. This is where the 15-second confirmation chart is going to be really, really, really handy. Because when you have a sweep, right, like right now, we crossed it. But is that enough, right? Sometimes you see it come back up, and then it needs to do another stop run down. That's where this 15-second confirmation is going to really, really, really help out. So, like, I'm not going to short. I'm just want to let price do what it wants to do, and then I wait. And that 15-second confirmation is going to really, really help in a scenario like today. Because right now, like, this could be all that it needs to do. It could be. But it could also need to do one more run down. So we wait. Morning, Benton. All right. Again, we have 10 a.m. big 10 a.m. news. So do not forget, and don't let me forget. Now, I will be watching this fair value gap to look for it to become an inversion. Once this becomes an inversion, or if it becomes an inversion, that'll be a good indicator that, hey, maybe we're ready to, maybe that's all that needs to sweep that sell side. And I would prefer to get a trade before 10 a.m., not close to 10 a.m., like 9:45, 9:50. It'd be very obvious. Or even earlier. That'd be great. That way I don't have to play around with that 10 a.m. But if it's going to be close to 10 a.m., then, hey, I'm just going to have to wait till after. But look, we have an inversion happening now. This looks like we're going to get this inversion. And I'm pretty clear on going long today. Like, if it gives me what I'm looking for, I'm pretty, like I said, I don't want to hesitate going long. Like, I think we're going to come all the way up to the 680 for sure. Potentially higher, but. So now we have this inversion. We came back into the inversion, but you know me, and my entries are not inversions. Especially right now this early. Good morning, Ayo. I am Wally. I think I said that right. Good morning. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining. So that's it. If you're new around here, that's what I like to do. I like to come up with my analysis for the day, for the morning. I trade pretty much an hour or less after the open and have pretty much an idea, a good market analysis, anticipation for what I'm expecting, and then I just wait to see if it plays out. If so, great. If not, great. So we did come back into this inversion there. Let's see. We're going to get probably a nice entry to go long. However, I'm going to wait because I like my fair value gaps. Looks like that's going to work out, though. Yeah, that inversion. It's like that inversion is going to play out pretty nice. And I think because the reason why I don't like, it's not that I don't like inversions. The reason why I don't take inversions is because for me, that's the first sign of a potential shift to the long side. But then a fair value gap will be more of a confirmation for me. This is the first signal. And then I get a fair value gap. And then I, go to my my other chart there, go look at the 15-second to see if we get a confirmation. On the 5-minute, we're looking like this is going to be a bullish order block also. Looks like we're going to get this fair value gap here. See the 5-minute. This is looking like we're going to have a nice bullish order block here. I have plenty of room to go long. Just need to wait for an entry. If you took this inversion, congratulations. Now, we'll see if we get another fair value gap in here. Which we might. I'm going to go ahead and pre-mark it just in case, so that way I don't have to mess with it too soon or without enough time. So we still have 20 seconds though, so you gotta, it's not there yet, it's just pre-marking it. All right, we took this buy side, this minor buy side liquidity here. I'm gonna go ahead and remove that so I don't get confused. All right, we got this fair value gap. Now I'm gonna hop down to my 15-second chart here to see if we come back to it. Well, we might get another little one here. Hit the 8:30 opening price. And if this thing just goes without me, that's what happens sometimes. Let's see. Let's see what happens. If we're going to come back down or not. I think we're going to go all the way up. Like I say, we're going to keep going up, but see if we can pull back to this fair value gap. We might get another little one here. So I have to keep that in mind. We have 10 seconds. We might get this other little one. We'll go ahead and mark it. Oh, look at that. Okay. So we made our way back down to this lower one. This is a pretty volatile movement going on here. I don't think I want to hop into anything right this second. Hey, if you hit break even early, that's good. Yeah. I'm telling you, that 10 a.m. news is big news, especially with the current state of the economy. Like everything, everybody's, what's being anticipated. Yeah, I'm waiting. We may keep going up, but for now, like I don't have me an entry. Now, if I can get another little, let's see, what are we looking like? Oh, actually, we just got a little sibby here. So, right there, we just got a little sibby. So now I don't trust anything at the moment. I want to see, because this was looking good, right? Like it was looking good of what I was expecting and anticipating. However, this drop right here did not. It was not what I was looking for or anticipating. So now I want to see if this becomes an inversion. I want this to become an inversion. And then I can, look for it to continue. But the longer this takes, the closer we're getting to that 10 a.m. news. And the more I'll be waiting. And also, like, here's another. I'm telling you, I'm gonna push and promote this 15-second confirmation entry model. I mean, forever, because here's another. As this is pulling down on the 1 minute, this could have been an entry. And imagine if you entered, like, you'd be in some heat, and you might be okay, but it prevents things like that if you use this 15-second confirmation. Because if you got in up here, off the 1 minute, you really should have your stop like way down here. And this is where I was talking about too. We may see another, like, we barely swept previous day low, which like I said, that could be enough. But that usually, when we just wick through like this, I usually am a little skeptical. So I would not be surprised. I'm not saying it needs to happen or I'm expecting it to happen, but I would not be surprised if we see another stop run this way to the short side before 10 a.m. and then 10 a.m. take us up. Or 10 a.m. could just drop us to oblivion. Who knows? Well, we're not trading the 15-second chart, so it actually slows us down, Max. The 15-second chart is only to confirm an entry. So all the analysis, everything is coming from all the other charts, the 1 minute, 15 minute, all that. We're just looking at the 15-second to slow us down from entering immediately and wait for an extra confirmation on the 15-second. So it actually is the opposite. And that's what my initial thought was as well. Whenever you think 15-second chart, you're like, holy crap, that's too fast. Like, that's ridiculous. But it's actually not, because we're not trading it. We're just looking. We already have an entry on the 1 minute. So our entry's based on the 1 minute, but we drop down to the 15-second to look for an extra confirmation. That's all it is. Yeah, I agree, Will. That too many opposing fair value gaps at the moment. I'm definitely waiting as well. That 5 minute. Now, we didn't displace higher, so this looks like it could be an order block, a bullish order block on the 5 minute. But we didn't displace higher, so we came up and closed, right? But we should have displaced higher for this to really be a bullish order block here, this down candle. So we'll see. I mean, we still could. So that's why, to me, it's still kind of a potential. And the 15 minute, let's see what the 15 minute. We had a wick down. Look at the opening candle here. We had a wick up, wick down, and body closed right in here. So, and we have this little volume imbalance right here that we wicked into. Definitely going to need some patience today, and and don't do anything stupid today. Shadow, what's up, Shadow? Good morning. Man, Shadow, you've been missing some great streams lately. Rebalance this fair value gap and immediately dropping. There we go. Like I said, I'm not surprised. I didn't require it. Didn't expect it, but am not surprised if we see another rundown here. Only brothers can say those things. Now, if you look at it, let's zoom out. And if I am anticipating price to go higher, up in this area, up higher where I'm expecting, look at the structure right now. Look at it. Right now, if you look at the 2024 model, you're seeing right now price become jagged down here, where it's come up here and it's jagged. It's working its way. And if you remember his analogy, if you did watch the 2024 model, it's where like you have a shark, right, eating up price and creating this jaggedness, eating it up, creating jaggedness. We have a shift here, pulling back right to this inversion, and then keep going up to the smoothness up higher. It's what it's looking like at the moment, but again, we have news. Anything can happen. That very high impact news. Right here, this fair value gap is holding up nicely, though. I want to see this one become an inversion. We didn't quite invert here, but if we trade back up through this one with some displacement and invert this, then I'm pretty sure we're not coming back down. But again, here we go. It's about to be 9:50, which means it's 10 minutes away from this super high impact news. And I'm pumping up this news so much and watch it do nothing. We could see it just stall for the next 10 minutes. The temperature here, yeah, it's like 40 degrees. Also. Let's see. It was like 44 last night before I went to bed. Yeah, it's freezing in my office. Yeah, it's still 45 right now. Yeah, it's freezing in my office, and what sucks is I have to keep my AC on because it's kind of weird. It sounds weird, but it's so cold in my office that my office is like an 8x8. So if I don't turn on that AC, my little AC, which it'll switch to a fan, right? If he reaches the temperature, because it's supposed to stay 74 in here, but it gets so cold. And if I turn off that AC, it gets hot really fast because all my equipment, lights and desktop and everything, it gets hot. It gets stuffy. So I'm in this in between. So I'll open my door and just kind of leave my garage. For those of you that don't know, in my garage, I built an enclosed office/studio, and it's completely insulated, no windows. So it's like I'm in a little box, and it gets hot, but then also it gets freezing. There's no in between. So sometimes I'll open up my office door here, which is in my garage, and I'll open up my garage back door and let kind of like a breeze come in. So I don't know. It's all right. Look at the suspension block we have here, guys. Volume balance above, volume balance below, suspension block right there. Let's change this color to like a I don't know, lime green for suspension block. Supposedly, I'm still watching these and I'm not using them because ICT introduced them pretty recently. But supposedly the stronger than fair value gaps right there, suspension block. Well, yeah, you're on MNQ and I'm on NQ. You're gonna see less. There's less volume imbalances on MNQ, and that's another big reason why I like watching the NQ chart. NQ is going to have more volume imbalances than MNQ. And suspension blocks are created from volume imbalances. Yeah, suspension block is when you have a volume imbalance. You have a candle with a volume imbalance above and below it, just like this. And that's a suspension block. And that is one of the strongest PD rays right here. And you don't have to have a gap in between. Like, you don't have to have a fair value gap with it. It can literally trade through and wick through, but if you have a volume balance above and below, that's your suspension block. And we're getting a little bit too close to news for my liking. Not blick, it's a block. So I may just kind of sit this one on the sideline until after 10 a.m. I don't know what you mean there, Chris. Wouldn't the lower volume imbalance be invalidated? Why is that? All you need for a suspension block is a volume imbalance above and below the candle. This candle right here is the suspension block. Right there, that candle. Yeah, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it came back to it or not. What matters is there's a volume imbalance above and below that candle. So now it works both ways, as an inversion and as a regular suspension block. But also this suspension block could be created right there just because we're 5 minutes out from that news. So I think we're going to blow through everything in this area soon. Max. Which that's one of those things where if you don't do the update, then are you nervous about is everything going to operate right? Because I noticed NinjaTrader is very finicky when there's pending updates. I've noticed that a lot. If I have that little circle on my computer on the bottom right that says updates, pending updates or whatever, I'm like, I get nervous because there's so many times I see weird little glitches with NinjaTrader when there's an update pending. So yeah, I don't know. All right, we are 4 minutes out from news. At this point, I'm not going, it doesn't matter what happens. I'm not going to trade until after 10 a.m. Oops. Oh, man. Been trying for over an hour. Oof. And so, really, I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm going to get rid of this. I don't think any of that's going to hold up here soon. I'm going to leave the suspension block just to keep my eye on it and see how price reacts to it later. This inversion I'm leaving because we've already, like, it used it here, held up right here. So the trade, there was a nice trade, though, today. Actually, right in here when we came into this inversion, you could have went long out of it and aimed for these relative equal highs right there. And that would have been a nice trade for the morning. So roughly, let's just ballpark it here. About a 42, depending on an entry. 40 points target. That would have been a nice one and done. Yeah, for sure. I agree. Might just not be meant to be. And personally, like, hey, I'm glad you're here, Max. And I'm definitely, accepting of everybody that wants to hang out and join the stream. Personally, if I can't trade, I don't like to watch. Or if it's still during my trading time, like before I was streaming, and like I can't trade, I'm like, you know what, I can't trade, or something's going on. I don't want to watch anybody else trade, just because I don't want that FOMO to enter in for whatever reason. Like watching somebody else get a good trade, and I'm like, man, that could have been me, or man, the market actually might turn out to be good, and then you're forcing it to get back in, and then you might force a trade later. Not saying you personally, but in general, I know I've done that in the past. So now if it's outside of my trading time and I don't have anything, logged in where I can make stupid errors, then I'll pull up somebody and watch them trade or whatever. But yeah, if it's like right now and I'm having trouble, tech issues or whatever, like I'm not going to watch anybody else trade. That's why I prefaced it with saying I definitely appreciate everybody on the stream for sure. Which, by the way, while we're sitting here and we have less than a minute left, hit that like button if you would graciously do so. I would appreciate it. And look how see, this is, we got less than a minute here, so. Let's see what this thing's going to do. Are we going to rock it up, rock it down? Are we going to wick up and down? What are we going to do here? What are we going to do? Here we go. Okay, we had a wick. Are we lagging? What are we doing here? Well, that was a little we're probably going to run up now. All right, I got a couple evals I'm trying to get funded here on the side. Seeing if we're going heavy, seeing if we're going long. I am not in this on my PAs though or anything. You passed one. Nice. Yeah, this thing's not... It's a little disappointing here. A little disappointing. In this volume imbalance, now let's see if we go up. I don't want to see it come back below here, really. If we do, then that's kind of not really... Not really what I'm anticipating. We might have a little bit of a delayed reaction with that news. But now at this point, I do want to see another fair value gap up here because we did invert this one. Here, let me put this inversion back up here. I don't want to see it come back below this inversion. Let's change the color. Inversion. Oh, yep, there we go. We popped up. Looks like I got 4 accounts passed on that little move up there. So I'll take it. I'll take it. But I wanted to get in on my on my PAs here. Yep, I'll take it. I'll take 4. I'll take 4 more PAs at $6 a piece. Yeah, so that little pullback did take out. So I went long on all of them. And that little pullback did take out some of mine because I went heavy enough to where the trailing drawdown hit. But yeah. All right, now let's focus. Because we might get this fair value gap right here, which it looks like we're going to get. And I'm going to look to see if we get a confirmation inside it. Now we touched it. Let's go to the 15-second here. So we're inside this fair value gap. See what we do. Now we close the opening range gap, but we still have further to go in my opinion. But I don't like this becoming an inversion. So hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it's just coming down into this potential bullish order block. Let's see. Let's wait. Could be just coming down into this. However, we did create an inversion here. leaving more buy side liquidity up here. I don't like that it created an inversion. We still have no fair value gap on the 15-minute chart either. Not even on the 5-minute chart. So another sign that not much happening here for me to take a trade anyways in my PA or live account. Yeah, Shadow. When you go heavy and you... I still like to trade what I normally trade for the most part. I just like to go heavier for the evals. And sometimes I'll add into the winners. Of course, this one I didn't have to add in. But that's definitely what can get you is whenever you do like a little pullback. When you do a pullback and that trailing drawdown gets you if you go too heavy. All right, let's see what this inversion does. I'm not loving anything, to be honest. Like, the market's doing generally what I'm expected and kind of what I explained this morning. However, it's not giving me, it's not really, really like nice looking where I'm okay enough to take an entry. Let's see if this gets reclaimed or not. If this gets reclaimed, then we're going to keep going long. But we could keep this area. Just don't like this area. And remember, just FYI, I won't be trading tomorrow. We have the Fed funds rate decision tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. So I do not trade the mornings, and I don't trade the afternoons either. So personal preference on that. So recommendation, not financial advice. If I were you, I would not trade until afternoon tomorrow. I just don't see a real reason for us to come down. So, like, I wouldn't look at this inversion as anything to push price down, but, I could be wrong. We'll see. Dang, Shadow. Power outage scheduled. Yeah, it's scary. It won't happen until you click a button. Once you click a button, then the power will shut down. Right now I have 7 max and just got those 4 more. So by tomorrow or by the next time I'm trading, I'll be doing 11. I had that 20 last year for the longest. Well, up until, about a month ago or a month and a half, 2 months ago. I was trading 20, but building back. Ooh, look at that. Chris says, Shadow, you should be on a VPS, which I agree. And if you use code BEAST, you get 50% off the best VPS in the game, which is Edge Trader. Look at that. Building back better. Yeah, there we go. All right, hitting that suspension block. Look, I want to leave this suspension block here so we can all monitor it and see how it holds up. Or doesn't. This inversion is kind of like, meh. I'm going to get rid of it. This one, I want to see. It's an inversion. But I want to see if it gets reclaimed or not. Yeah, but you should be able to have phone data to be able to log in, right? Got a hotspot. You can jump in to check your trades in case, worst case, if you're on a VPS. Yeah, there's apps you can use. There's an app I used to use before where you can hop on from your phone, or you can use your phone's internet as a hotspot. Or Chris is going to just drive over there and kick you. It is 10:11 now, guys. 10:11. Not sure anything is going to play out, but what we are going to do is allow you guys to go ahead and get your entries going for the drawing. So, go ahead and type that into the chat, !beast, and get entered for the drawing. 5 eval giveaways. And I'll get those over to the winners as fast as possible. That way you can try to get those funded today for the last day of $6 PAs. So I just got 4 funded today. That's $24. Just stupid. $24 for funded accounts. Let's go. All right, I'm watching to see if we get this reclaimed. And, you know, fair value gap to go up. I'll probably look for a long at that point. Nightbot finally befriended Will yesterday. That was funny. Nightbot said, "You know what, Will? You're a pretty good guy. You've contributed a lot. Let's go ahead." All right, I see the entries coming in, so you guys are being entered into the drawing as you're typing that into the chat. Soccer 12s, put that exclamation mark before Beast. That way it enters you. So it's, and yeah, Soccer 12, exclamation mark first, then Beast. All right, here we go. Let's see if we get this reclaimed, and let's see if we get a new fair value gap up in here. I think we're going to go... Man, I can honestly see us getting up into the 700s. But we'll see. Hitting that London low again. Really being difficult. There you go, Soccer 12s. I see you are entered in. Yep, that one worked. Everybody else, whoever's on, and you want the chance at a free evaluation. You know, the stream still does, like, there's not a ton of viewers while I'm live. So your chances of getting a free evaluation are pretty good. If we're thinking in probabilities here. Just make sure you enter in. And we'll see after 10:20 if this thing does any move or not. Especially if your name is John. Yeah. typically the day before the Fed funds rate is not too bad in anticipation. It's usually the morning of. And really the morning of, if there's not something like right at the open, then it just goes downhill from there. But looking at today, though, it's already kind of, my indicator usually is, like I say, that 15-minute chart. That's my indicator. Like, there's no, look at, since the open, if I mark out the open here, here's our open to the right. Like, that's all that's happened since the open on the 15-minute chart. That's a good indicator that it's not really much that I want to be in there. 5-minute chart, pretty much, look at that, same thing. All right, we got our entries coming in here. So this will be the nice thing too. If we do get something that looks like we'll continue up, I'm pretty sure we'll have a, or you know, I'll have a smaller stop loss because of this price action here. But also that means there might be a bit of a higher risk potential that of it not playing out, just because it may, you know, price is not really doing much. So yeah, I agree, Will. Will says it's tough to see, or tough to consider a trade without at least seeing a couple PD rays in the same direction, printed in the same. Which I agree, like, because what could happen too is you could even see price like come up and give us a little, you know, fair value gap up here, and then just come right back below it and invert it again. $10.20 didn't really get any move. Let's see about $10.21. All right, y'all. So it looks like we're not going to do much here. So let's go ahead and give it one more minute, and we'll start doing the drawing. We'll start doing the drawing, get our winners here, and then I'm not going to take a trade. Like 90% sure I'm not going to take a trade. So we'll give it a minute here, and then I'll do the drawing. All right. Watch, as soon as I start this drawing, the market's going to want to take off. All right, let's go ahead and start choosing our winners. We're going to go ahead and have our first winner is, come on, Nightbot, who's it going to be? Milmer. Congratulations, Milmer. Congratulations on that free evaluation. All right, our second winner is going to be Bad Cat Joe. Congratulations on that. These evals are good for any size evaluation. We have 3 more winners coming up, but I am also watching the market here to see if we're going to go ahead and decide to go now. But, all right, third winner is going to be, come on, Nightbot, who is it? Ayo. Ayo, congratulations, Ayo. All right, 2 more winners here for today. And our fourth winner is going to be My Ameritrade. Congratulations, My Ameritrade. Okay, our last winner for the day is going to be, drum roll please, Nightbot, who do you like today? David. Congratulations, David. All right, y'all. That's our 5 winners for today. And I'm going to put my email in the chat like I have been. swinter@futuresniperbeast.com. Shoot me an email. And what you need to do is take a screenshot of you logged into your YouTube. Okay? And send that to me. Just like this. Oops. Hold on. Sorry. Where is it? Okay. My light is blinding me. Just like this. Hit that little icon, your little profile button there, and it'll pop down and you can see, you know, your name, your channel, if you have it, or you might not have a channel, but send me a screenshot that looks like this. That way I can get you your code, your eval code to that email, okay? That's what you got to do. Yeah, Nightbot, you know, Nightbot is very bland. Nightbot doesn't like too much celebrating, okay? So, like, when we get excited and we're saying congratulations, Nightbot is like, hey, guys, calm down. There's going to be another drawing on Thursday. There's going to be more winners, okay? All right, so we have this inversion. Not sold, but yeah, see, look, we go to the 15-second chart. Look at this 15-second price action inside this inversion. Not taking that, by the way. All right, y'all. I'm not liking anything, and I need to get off of here. So, yeah, I'm not liking anything. So I'm going to call it a day. Look at this. This could be, don't fall into a short trap, okay? That's all I got to say before I head off of here. If we see it coming down, don't fall into a trap thinking it's going to go short because we have one big candle or a couple big candles coming down. Like, let it really prove to us that it's going to keep coming down before we go short. Just kind of my opinion here. All right. That's all. Yeah, finish that 15-second video. Actually, that's been kind of a popular video. It's gotten almost 500 views in 2 days, less than 2 days. But, yeah, all right, y'all. I won't be here Wednesday, so I'll be back Thursday. Ooh, maybe. Maybe. All right, plan for Thursday, but I just remembered I have some stuff going on. Plan for Thursday, and I'll let y'all know on the comments, the posts on YouTube. All right, but the next time I am streaming, we're going to do some more giveaways. I have 5 more evaluations. I'm going to keep doing that until I can't. So if y'all are going to be trading the rest of the day, as always, trade well, everybody, and I'll see y'all on the next stream. Take care.